In the toil of thinking, in the serenity of books, in the messages of prophets, the songs of poets, and the wisdom of interpreters, in discoveries of continents of truth whose margins we may see, we delight in free minds and in their thinking. In the majesty of the moral order, in the faith that right will triumph, in the courage given us when we ally ourselves to truth in any form, in the privilege of being co-workers in good causes, we celebrate the unseen goals we share and serve. Let us build a world safe from war and oppression, free and satisfying, one that ultimately furnishes answers for us all. Please be seated.
Graduates, friends, family, good morning and welcome. I'm Kim Gilbride, the Associate Dean in the Faculty of Science, and I'd like to begin today's celebration with our land acknowledgement. Toronto is in the Dish with One Spoon territory. The Dish with One Spoon is a treaty between the Anishinaabe, Mississaugas, and the Haudenosaunee that bound them to share the territory and protect the land. Subsequent Indigenous nations and peoples, Europeans and all newcomers have been invited into this treaty in the spirit of peace, friendship, and respect. Today, June the 21st, is National Indigenous Peoples Day. This is a day for all Canadians to recognize and celebrate the unique heritage, diverse cultures, and outstanding contributions of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples, which makes acknowledging the land we are celebrating on especially important, and I ask you to reflect on this not only today, but as you go forward in your daily lives. Welcome, classes of 2020 and 2021. So wonderful to have you back on campus to celebrate your academic achievements in an in-person ceremony today. Welcome to the graduates, their families, and their friends. You are a unique people who shared a degree, never expecting it to finish the way that it did. You have learned during that time to adapt, to even be more self-reliant than probably you ever thought possible. You have expanded the world of possibilities, and this will serve you in unique ways that no other graduating class can say. We are very proud of your resilience. As you go out into the world to apply your skills and knowledge, please stay curious and creative. Imagine using your education in non-traditional ways. Be kind to each other, and please stay in touch. Come back on campus or email us. Let us know how you are and what you're doing. You are now alumni, well, almost, and our greatest ambassadors. To begin this very special day, I introduce to you the Chancellor of the Toronto Metropolitan University, Janice Fukakusa.
Graduates, I am very proud and honored to speak to you today. Today is a time of well-deserved celebration. We all share our pride in your success with everyone whose love and support has played a role in bringing you here today. Now, normally at this stage of my remarks at Convocation, I typically share a few pieces of advice with the graduating class. After 2 years of pandemic, however, I think that you, the graduates, should be the ones giving the advice. Graduates, you went through a remarkable experience. You endured and came through it and achieved your ultimate objective. I hope you share your experience with others and be proud of what you achieved. In fact, be proud of the impact that you will have going forward in everything you do in the months and years to come. And take the time to reflect on your achievements. It builds the confidence that is essential to overcome the inevitable challenges in the years ahead. And remember, when you look back at your university experience, I encourage you to think about what you learned about yourself. That resilience gives you the means to learn from your experiences, and determination will keep you focused on your dreams. After all of you have already proven that you have the talent and the will to succeed. On this special day of graduation celebration, let me close by offering my congratulations and good wishes on your journey going forward. Thank you.
Today marks a momentous moment in the story of your life. Just a few years ago, you began a new chapter. For some, that meant moving to a new city. For many, that meant discovering new perspectives. And for all, that meant opening your mind to new possibilities. Along the way, you were met with challenges unfamiliar to those who came before you and to those who follow. You embraced the responsibility of learning and unlearning, inspired by the people and places that played a part. Together, we evolved. While this chapter comes to a close, your story continues. Tomorrow, you'll remember this moment, not for who you were, but for who you have become. Today, we'll celebrate the diversity of your experience, your commitment to shaping a better future, and your part in our story as Toronto Metropolitan University.
I now welcome to the podium to deliver the Convocation address, Paul Duffy, currently the President and Chairman of Nextech AR Solutions, and quite happily to say he's also a 1989 Applied Computer Science graduate. Paul?
Hello and good morning. Chancellor Pukakusa, Provost Simpson, deans, esteemed colleagues and representatives who join us on stage, members of the graduating class, your families, your friends, and honored guests. It is my pleasure and humble honor to speak with you today. As Kim said, my name is Paul Duffy, and I am a proud graduate of Applied Computer Science, class of 1989. Before I jump into it, can I ask the gallery to kind of join me in a quick round of applause to celebrate this wonderful moment of you guys sitting here in front of us today. Come on. Well done. Well done and congratulations. Let me tell you a little bit about my journey and how I got here. I mean, literally standing here right now. Like you, I am a proud alum of this university, one of the greatest institutions in this country. Over 3 decades, I arrived in the same seats that you are in now. And from the moment I got up from that seat, stepped onto this stage, and held my diploma, I never looked back. That moment, graduation day, was a clear demarcation of the before and after in the story of my life. And I am certain for some of you, you will look back decades from now and feel the same way. Graduating from this university gave me the courage and the confidence to achieve any level of success that I desired, both personally and professionally. My story starts about 2 years after graduating. I was working in software, basically, where I saw no limit in what I could develop. I began writing code and watching my employer make a lot of money at it. So I thought to myself, the world is my oyster. If I stepped into it boldly and confidently, I could achieve any success that I wanted. So I decided then that I wanted to run my own company. So I got on a plane, I headed down to Tampa, Florida, and I started my own business on a wing and a prayer. I met a guy in Greece, literally celebrating my graduation, and he became known to my kids as my Uncle Ange. We basically talked into the night about how we could build technology and use it in a variety of different ways. I went down to Florida, I rented a one-bedroom apartment. I bought an air mattress and a wok, and I started to write code. Back in the early 90s, the internet was just emerging, and at that time, I had developed a multimedia training program, basically pictures with a bunch of interactions, for a data communication product that was sold by AT&T. Basically, instead of bringing thousands of sales reps into AT&T, they would send them my floppy disks. And in the end, it ended up saving them huge, huge amounts of money. Well, that was the proverbial right place, right time, and the rest is history. For a young guy in his mid-20s, honestly, it was like winning the lotto. My first company, CCI, which I went on to co-found with Uncle Ange, went on to create the eSchool Essentials desktop product suite, which was one of the first online training tools for Microsoft Corporation. I became a pioneer in the world of what's known as multimedia back in the early 90s and 2000s. Basically, that's the metaverse of today. And with that buzzword kind of spinning around, we grew that company, CCI, to well over 200 employees through the 90s and early 2000s. In fact, it was one of the largest e-learning companies here in Canada. I then went on to invent and patent holographic telepresence while co-founding Art Media, along with entertainer Paul Anka, some partners here in Toronto, Los Angeles, and Hong Kong. That company went on to secure the holographic rights of Notorious B.I.G., and I would routinely beam numerous personalities like Tony Robbins, Gary Vee, Deepak Chopra, and others all over the world. Sometimes I actually had to pinch myself when I realized who I was meeting with in my soundstage in Hollywood. Professor Stephen Hawking saw what I had done, and he invited me to Cambridge, to the Potter Room, where I created holograms of him. And in fact, last week, President Zelensky used the technology to beam in simultaneously to London and to Paris. Today I work on creating the real-world metaverse. With the emergence of Web 3.0, I'm working with a great team of people to build companies that will usher in the next era in spatial computing. I say all of this only to emphasize that if you can dream it, you can be it. And for me, that all started on graduation day at TMU. Today, as alumni, you are entering a world now where, more than any time prior, everything is possible. As graduates of science, you know the amazing advances that are happening in each of your respective fields. Personally, I get truly excited when I think of what will come from the great minds that are sitting here in front of us now, from computer science to chemistry, biology, and all points in between. I can say wholeheartedly that sitting in this group today, many of you will make significant advancements in your field of study that will benefit us all. And some of you are going to touch humanities in ways that you can't even imagine today. And still others, you will use your time and your knowledge here to adapt to a career and a calling that may be different than what you studied. But I can assure you that your success will be grounded in how you learn to learn while you were here. You know, the scientific method is a great metaphor for life. And in my opinion, the world now, more than ever, needs great scientists. Of course, for every one of you sitting here today, there was a parent, a significant other, maybe a brother or sister, a relative, even a good friend, who in one way or another helped you along this incredible journey. It's impossible to get where you're sitting today on your own. So don't forget in the coming days as you celebrate to reach out and to thank each of them. Give them a hug, maybe a fist pump, go old school, write them a letter, but basically tell them thanks for helping you along this journey, because they too are deserving of this recognition in this great moment. And let's face it, they're all going to be keeping a keen eye on you to see where you go next. I'd like to wrap up with a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson, something that I've lived by since I stepped up on this stage and then went off into the wild. Do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Graduates, I can tell you from personal experience, have no reservation and have no doubt. But by the virtue of you sitting here today, you are all worthy and capable of going where there is no path and leaving a trail. You are all now and forevermore alumni of one of the greatest institutions in this country. Be proud, be confident, and be thankful. Congratulations and well done.
Thank you, Paul. Those were truly inspiring words and things that we can certainly help as you graduates go forward. Now, as our graduates prepare to come forward, I'd like to take this opportunity to request that the audience hold their applause until all the graduates have crossed the stage. We do, however, welcome spontaneous outbursts of joy, enthusiasm, relief, whatever you want from the family and friends, because that's all part of the celebration. So, as all graduates are celebrated equally, we also ask that everyone please remain for the whole duration of the ceremony. Now, enjoy your moment of finally getting to cross the convocation stage.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for the certificates in the G. Raymond Chang School of Continuing Education. Certificate Computer Programming Applications, Yusra Mahmood Khan. Certificate in Computer Security and Digital Forensics, Francisco Dovi. Yoxmylin Michalkowski. Christopher Warmington. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for the undergraduate degrees in the Faculty of Science. Bachelor of Architectural Science, Architectural Science. Atta Jan Ahmedijad. Bachelor of Science, Honors, Biology. Sina Abeya Wardana. Sotiraya Apostolopoulos. Alvin Benag. Abigail Cara Belondres. Diomira Anastasia Bianchi. Kylie Brozick with distinction. Michael Canoni. Robert Carrillo Zurita with distinction. Anika Chowdhury. Stephanie Cherokee. Renee Coilo with distinction. Emily Duong. Erin Eilerson. Cassandra Gonsalves. Marina Isa. Celine Jafrudifar with distinction. Tamara Jellick. Navjot Johal. Ipar Karali. Christine Kushaba. Mohammed Mal. Nabila Mohammed. Melanie Narot with distinction. Vivian Nguyen. Tyrell Anderson Olton. Elijah Ortega. Kausar Punchbaya. Rizma Premachandran. Rabia Reyes with distinction. Alexander Rimmer with distinction. Corbin Sparks with distinction. Sathuya Srithkantaraja. Jonas Tan. Isabella Taskran. Isabel Toledo. Arabella Vasquez. Zen Wu. Kenny Z. Bachelor of Science Honors Biology Cooperative Program. Celine Dudkowski. Anne Ha. Bachelor of Science Honors Biomedical Sciences. Melissa Jane Alkinsell. Nasima Alu. Nistor Amador Hernandez. Tharandia Ananda Kumaran. Jenna Barnhart. Suj Bopari with distinction. Rajpreet Chatta. Era de la Fuente with distinction. Thomas Esmond with distinction. Sumaya Ibrahim. Mata Jan Amenijad with distinction. Kasturi Krishnaratnam with distinction. Hao Kwong. Bernadette Lau with distinction. Joanna Lin. Laura Lupoy with distinction. Kimia Madahi with distinction. Jocelyn Mendez Guzman with distinction. Halima Mohammed. Merel Victoria Pantaleon. Arman Randhawa with distinction. Desiree Rose Montensis. Marisha Ratnaraja. Sabrina Fuad Sherman. Parminder Sidhu. Sienna Smith with distinction. Anat Usatinsky, with distinction. Manira Verdawala, with distinction. Maria Vu, with distinction. Anna Wilson, with distinction. Cassandra Wong, with distinction. Michelle Yang. Zoha Zahur, with distinction. Nojan Zolfagari. Nojan Zolfagari is being congratulated on stage by their father, Sahid Zolfagari, from the Office of the Vice President, Administration and Operations. Bachelor of Science Honors Biomedical Sciences Cooperative Program. Abhinita Paramasivam, with distinction. Maria Thomas, with distinction. Bachelor of Science Honors Chemistry. Layla Abraham. Ariba Ahmed. Charles Banham. Chriselle Biclair. John Anthony Baraccia. Peter Anthony Gordon, with distinction. Julia Pia, with distinction. Abhisana Sangaralingam. Bachelor of Science Honors Chemistry Cooperative Program. Kelvin Urbina, with distinction. Bachelor of Science Honors Computer Science. Mohibullah Abdullah. Nishita Acharya. Oluwatomi Layo Adigbite. Hanan Ahmed. Liane Al-Hamlawi. Mohamed Al-Saidi. Rohan Ali. Mustafa Al-Salem. Paul Bakulna, with distinction. Gabriel Badiola. Swathi Badrina Rainan. Kalista Beg. Jonathan Bajada. Janakumar Banushali, with distinction. Himanshu Bargu, with distinction. Jonathan Bonilla. Paul Buto, with distinction. Atijo Chowdhury. Jonathan Cruz. Nicholas de la Guardia. Dennis Frolov. Michelle Galperin. John Gomes, with distinction. Rehan Haji. Christopher Ho. Hamza Imran. Isa Karama Tinijad, with distinction. M. Hafiz Khan. Pavle Kotarat. Arman Kusha. Noah Latori. Alexei Lesnikov. Zhang Li. Zhang Yu Lu. Fabliha Faiza Maliha. Rayan Miran. Arshad Mohammed. Mihai Morasan. Wesley Morota. Hajar Mustafa. Menaz Rahman with distinction. Talish Rodriguez Josel Ferreira. Paul Rupchan. Michael Sasoda. Ali Sherwani. Jacob Wagner. Daniel Watchon. Elena Zubko. Bachelor of Science Honors, Computer Science Cooperative Program. Andrew Benson with distinction. Rachel Canlath. Fung Ryan Huang with distinction. Ajesha Kandasamy with distinction. Marco Mijalkovic. Amy Nguyen with distinction. Benjamin Pinhorn with distinction. Maria Poveda with distinction. Aravind Rajkumar. Tong T. Mark Wolfson. Talha Wahab. William Wong. Bachelor of Science, Contemporary Science. Avinash Ruplal. Bachelor of Science, Honors, Financial Mathematics. Michael Ferreira. Syed Rafe. Carolina Surovitz. Bachelor of Science, Honors, Mathematics and its Applications. Austin Almadi. Farah Al-Rahawi. Daniel Konini. Theofilos Goritsas with distinction. Xing Sung Alexander Sun. Zicheng Jason Yao. Bachelor of Science, Honors, Medical Physics. Horatio Bob. Alejandro Diaz Rojas Sesto. Yu Wen Fan. Emmanuel Godofai. Muna Ibar. Mewish Jabin. Cassandra Jesuratnam. Momina Boot. Hannah McKay with distinction. Ashlyn McNabb. Layat Mesfin. Daniel Fernandez. Aynaz Sharifi. Lutfun Nahar. Brandon Ng. Maria Nguyen. Eniola Omoniyi. Neha Prasher. Caroline Salib. Zena Shiraz. Ruth Solomon. Anna Staviska with distinction. Kevin Trin. Brandon Wang. Master of Engineering, Biomedical Engineering, Ben Gidalevich. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you candidates for the graduate degrees in the Faculty of Science and Yates School of Graduate Studies. Master of Science, Applied Mathematics. Rajamanikam Muttarasan. Master of Science, Computer Science. Katrina Hooper. Mohammed Islam. Cassandra Laffin. Hajra Naeem. Sajida Parveen. Master of Science, Molecular Science. Fawaz bin Shushili Azam. Bachelor of Science, Honors Biomedical Sciences. Saida Zainab Bokhari, with distinction. Doctor of Philosophy, Biomedical Physics. Ying Li. Doctor of Philosophy, Computer Science. Kashaya Habibi. Dalia Hannah. Salam Ismail. Doctor of Philosophy, Mathematical Modeling and Methods. Samana Golami. Doctor of Philosophy, Molecular Science. Nora Dana. Donald Fernandez. Sahana Sritharan. Master of Applied Science, Environmental Applied Science and Management, Abdullah Alotaibi. Kevin Lucas. Golnush Siavash Mokar. Doctor of Philosophy, Environmental Applied Science and Management. Lucrezia Awor. Edgar Tovia. Olalekan Onelude. Christopher Daniel. Homeira Ektari. Mariam Moradi. Madam Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of today's graduates.
Hello, Toronto Met grads. I'm Jen McMillan, Vice Provost students, and I'm so excited to share this moment with you. After years of hard work and great memories, you finally made it to the finish line. Congratulations on this huge accomplishment. I know you have a lot of family and friends in your corners too, people who supported you when you needed it most and who cheered you on at every milestone. Whether they are near or far, they are celebrating you today and no doubt incredibly proud of your achievements. I hope you feel that your degree not only represents what you learned in the classroom, but how you made the most of your time here. You worked hard, tackling assignments, studying for exams, and balancing jobs, but also played hard, joining clubs, making athletics history, and becoming student leaders. While some of you might have grown up close by, many of you spent hours on a plane to get here, and that's the beauty of this place. We're a community made up of people from all around the world who found a second home at TMU. So take all of your experiences, your successes and learnings, and dive into every opportunity that lies ahead. Grow the network of friends you've built here and help one another thrive in new spaces around the world. I hope you keep getting involved, keep speaking up, and keep living out loud because this world needs you, just as you are. Do you hear me? It needs you, and I'm so happy we could help you on your way. Congratulations again.
When I moved here to go to university, I was, this kid in this big, intimidating city, and this place just felt like home to me.
And I knew immediately, having just come from Jamaica, that that was the place for me.
I spent 3 years here. These are still the best 3 years of my life.
One of the fondest memories that I had was being here at 1, 2 in the morning. You're leaving at around 3 a.m., but it didn't matter because you were doing what you loved.
My fondest memory at the university was the day I graduated. Dr. G. Raymond Chang, our previous chancellor, was handing it off to me. I remember when I got up to that stage, I whispered over to him, "I'm Jamaican as well. I'm so proud to have you as my chancellor." And we giggled.
Interaction with meeting students from all over the world, interaction with my instructors of the day.
My fondest memory was getting a husband.
The warmth, the camaraderie, the buildings were so friendly.
During my 8 years as president of the university, I officiated at well over 50 convocations. My fondest memory really was to see the students coming across the stage, to see their families excited with them, and to see so many of the students who are graduating be the first in their family to get a degree.
And it's all true. Yes, thank you. It's not fluff.
Please welcome Provost and Vice President Academic Jennifer Simpson.
Hi, it's great to be here, and it's so good to see all of you return in person for this celebration. We're really glad to be here with you this morning. Again, my name's Jennifer Simpson, and it's my first celebration with Convocation as well this year. I started at TMU as the Provost and Vice President Academic just about a year ago in July. You have arrived at this day, at this celebration, and at this accomplishment. Once again, congratulations to each and every one of you for your achievements. As we bring today's ceremony to a close, we have an opportunity to reflect on the sacrifices and successes that have led each of you to this moment. Endless study sessions and all-nighters dedicated to finishing a project or to getting through tough exams. You balanced extracurricular activities with a demanding academic schedule. And on top of all of this, you had a global pandemic that pushed and challenged you in unimaginable ways. We can also consider the incredible things that you gained along the way. Cherished memories at varsity games and campus events to reminisce about with lifelong friends. And hopefully an appetite for learning to fuel your growth in the years ahead. Every day in completing your degrees, you showed up, you persevered, you asked tough questions, you challenged the status quo, and you triumphed. Today is a day of well-deserved celebration for you and your families and friends. In many ways, you are now standing at the beginning of your own next chapter. We think it's likely that you'll experience ahead moments of excitement, of frustration, and sometimes self-doubt. What happens when you come to those moments? For me, I can remember it was actually a year before, Paul, you graduated in '89. It was in 1988, a year after that, so it was 1989, and I was struggling. I had finished my bachelor's in '88, I had done an internship, and I was in a moment of not knowing what to do. And I was I could apply for graduate school, I could look for another job, and I thought, I'm gonna reach out to a professor. He may not remember me, but he might have something helpful to say. So I did that, I reached out. And the first thing that I realized was he was so excited to hear from me. He was really glad to hear from me. The second thing that has stuck with me are the words he said. They were very few, but they were so important. And in that moment, he told me, "Jennifer, if you can, I hope you follow your heart." That's what we hope for you, that you reach out to us, we'll be excited, and that you follow your heart, that you hold on to what you know, to your own passions and commitments. We also hope that you can continue to ask questions, that you can keep learning, and that you stay open. I'll also take a minute to say a special thank you to the families and friends who are here with us today and in many other places who have helped all of the graduates along your way. The support of all of you, family and friends, has been incredibly important to each one of our graduates and has contributed to their success in incalculable ways. So thank you to all family and friends, both here and away, for your support. Once again, to the graduates, good luck and congratulations. We want you to remember one very important idea, that by completing your journey here, you will always be part of the Toronto Metropolitan University family, an ever-growing group of passionate people doing important work in every corner of the world. Good luck with all of your future endeavors. We look forward to what each of you will contribute to our shared future. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Provost Simpson. I'd like to thank also all the volunteers and faculty here today who have helped to make this ceremony a wonderful experience for all. Graduates and guests, once again, congratulations from everyone at the university. I hope you will continue to enjoy this very special day. But first, if you can, please rise and join Catherine Rowan from the Office of the Dean of Arts in the singing of our national anthem. Following the anthem, please remain standing till all of the graduates have left the arena. Thank you for celebrating with us today.